Final Fantasy, it's on its way. Whether we're ready for it or not, this hype train hasn't just left the station. This thing's got rocket packs. No further need for any PR here. Your success rating is at 1000%, and everyone is climbing on board. Welcome back, everyone. MTG Moxman here. Thank you again for hanging out with me on my channel today. Now, what I'm talking about is the sheer volume of interest surrounding Final Fantasy. Now, that's not the only thing I'm covering in today's video, but this is something we need to take note of. Because in the next week or two, the hype that is following is going to die down. It is going to go to the backdrop. It's not as if this is full spoiler season. They're not going to let everything drop. This is the bait. Okay, it's on the hook. We took it in, and we're super excited, thrashing around, waiting to be lifted up to see the greatness above us, or become a great fish stew. So, where does this lead us now? Now, it can sit on the backdrop. But before it does, let's recap just a couple things. Multiple pre-orders that have actually been put up have already sold out. A few times over. Many stores I know were unsure about how much capital to deploy are changing their minds. Players, even though they know it is expensive as a product, it is on par with high-end premium products from Wizards of the Coast, they want those collector boxes. This is the start of something that's going to be a great party that Magic players are going to talk about for a really long time. Now, after that hype fades away, and after you've taken a moment to take it all in, look at all the great cards coming out, look at the product sealed that's being released, all these sealed cool things, I hope people take a pause moment. Just a pause. I'm not saying you can't buy it. Maybe you already have. Now, in the past, when I'm telling you to take this pause moment, it's just to reflect on how badly you need something. How bad do you have to have it? How much money are you willing to deploy to get it? And what is going to be the end result? Because things are changing a bit. I'm not going to say it's a full loop around and things are different in the world of Magic the Gathering, but I'm going to tell you that the way sealed products react is changing. It's not the way it used to be. We know collector boxes are harder to find. But on the other hand, there's still a lot out there. So take a look at this first. And I'm just doing this to remind ourselves everything that's out there. So here I'm showing you Dominaria United collector booster case. Used to be like $2,300, $15.99. It was at $17.99, but you can see this used to be $359 a box. There's Commander Legends, the original OG that has Jeweled Lotus, right? Yeah, still $649. Now, Throne of Eldraine, an original Throne of Eldraine, the very first collector box ever created, $399. It, as the first box ever made, costs less than the boxes we see today. Now, of course, we can look over at Dominaria United. You can see the price there, $349. And these, by the way, are Canadian prices from a local online retailer. I'm showing these to show you the value, the price, where things go, and where things are changing. Now, if I jump over here and show you the second page, you are going to see some of the products that were really mass-produced during the COVID era. That's things like Crimson Bow, okay? Like this thing was just pumping out. Innistrad Midnight Hunt, double feature. Remember that thing? Mess up, man. But then you can go back and look at older boxes, like Rivals of Ixalan or the original Ixalan. These things are like $159 and $199. Fate Reforged, $199. It is crazy to think about some of these boxes. But you've also got Streets of New Capenna. And look at March of the Machine Aftermath, $219. There's Innistrad Midnight Hunt at $199. Again, Canadian pricing. If you were in the US, you would take off about 40% of what you see represented in the images I'm sharing with you. Now, if you looked at that, you might be dissuaded right now. You might say, what was I thinking, Moxman? I should not be buying these boxes. I should step away and wait for them to fall in price. And there was a time that I would have reminded you of this. That I would say, yeah, everything falls. But after Lord of the Rings, after what we've seen going on with some of the recent collector boxes and the sales volumes, it really does look like Wizards of the Coast has cut things back. And with other speculators jumping in on that lower stock, things are selling out. Now, does this mean that there won't be more produced in this case? There's absolutely going to be more boxes of Final Fantasy. There's going to be more boxes of Dragons of Tarkir. There is going to be just more boxes in general because Wizards of the Coast is not there to lose out on capitalizing. They got to make money. And if they see money being wasted because the secondary market boxes are going too high after they've sold at the MSRP they believe to be roughly right, they'll make a few extra boxes. Maybe just an extra pallet and see if it sells. If that sells, well, next time they jump it up again. It makes perfect sense to slowly inch the numbers up until they get to the market saturation level where they can't sell anymore. And let the market do what it's going to do. Interesting. Interesting. Now, that being said, there's your kind of like, take a look at where things have been, where things are going, and just how excited people are from this set. Because here's a funny thing. I was at work yesterday. I have 3 people who do not play Magic, but do play video games. And yep, you guessed what I'm going to tell you. They're all planning on buying the Commander decks and picking up some packs. They're not going to play, but they want to have them. Collectability. Humans love to collect. We like to hoard things and gather things, pretty shiny things, like that, whatever that bird was. There's a bird out there that does that thing. Anyway, let's move on to this because I don't want to take all day with the video, but if we look now that the hype will go on its own, it'll slowly fade to the backdrop, and things will shift down in gear, okay? Just because there's still months and months to go. And the hype level can't stay at this approximate level of the needle. You know, you're going to blow the engine. So, things will ease off. And now, not Aetherdrift. Now, there'll be some cards. I'll probably have to do a revamp on that. But Tarkir Dragonstorm. I hope you guys watched the videos that I put out about a month ago. 3 weeks ago? Might even a month. Those videos are talking about which dragons to buy, things to look forward to, because we just saw another secret lair come out, and it has like dragons, okay? Evening Star and stuff. Pretty artwork, but we've seen them all before. But some people will like that stuff, and they'll go for it. But they weren't the ancient dragons. So we might be seeing those kind of cards come up in a set like Tarkir Dragonstorm. The hype for this set will be a slow momentum as we step away from Aetherdrift's release. I almost guarantee you, somewhere in the next 4 weeks, things are going to start popping up online. The bigger content creators who get fed information from Wizards, they'll get some tidbits. Maybe the Twitch Magic channel will have something come live, you know, sooner rather than later. Then, since we have all these cool Final Fantasy pre-order prices up and things are being locked in, now you'll start to see Tarkir Dragonstorm stuff start to appear. Few, small bits, to let it just slowly mull in as it grows. And this is what Wizards of the Coast likes to do with their in-house products. Okay, not the Universe Beyond stuff, but the in-house stuff doesn't need as much of this marketing. And if they do it right, it's still going to sell pretty well. Especially the initial waves. The money that moves in Magic right now, it does move quickly. It doesn't matter if somebody tells me later that, hey, Moxman, you're wrong. This isn't what's happening. It is. As far as I'm concerned, what I can track with sales, you can see the jump up like this and then the drop down. And if you look back 5 years ago, it didn't do that. Okay, if you look back 10 years ago, it was totally different as well. So the market's changed, but right now, that money moves very, very, very quickly. It's liquid right through a set, especially if the set doesn't do well. The exceptions are the collector boxes. Right now, I'm going to give that to you. Way to go, Wizards of the Coast. Pulling back on that printing was one of the smartest things you've done. And now we'll get to see what Tarkir Dragonstorm can do. We'll get to take a look at things in the next few weeks. So if you haven't watched those videos, go catch them, see what's going on, and let me know what you think. Did you dive in on Final Fantasy? Are you looking forward to Tarkir Dragonstorm, or are you waiting for Marvel? Because these are conversations that I'm sure Wizards of the Coast is having, wondering which ones are going to do the best. And judging by how excited fans are for Final Fantasy, that thing is going to be a monster. But will it beat out traditional sets like Tarkir Dragonstorm? Those are a longer timeline kind of question. And which one will have bigger cards over the long lifespan of Magic to be reprinted in premium products? Guys, let me know what your thoughts are. Share them in the comments section. Share it with everyone. It's great, man. I'm very excited. There's some great stuff going on. You can't avoid it, right? Anyway, thanks for hanging out with the Mox, man. Thanks for being here on the channel. Looking forward to seeing everyone tomorrow. See the comment section, see what's going on. Anyway, have a great day. I'll march left, right, down, up. Oh, coffee. Hey guys, a big shout out and thank you to the fantastic patrons of this channel. Because of those patrons, we get to do this each and every day. We get to talk about Magic the Gathering, and we get to look at the amazing cards that are from Final Fantasy, Universes Beyond products, as well as those amazing dragons from Tarkir. What will the future hold for Magic? Well, that's a question for another day, but what a great game, and I'm glad I'm here to talk about it. Have a great one, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Ramble Jamble. My other work phone went off when it shouldn't. You think I was going to edit this out? That isn't how we do things here. Welcome back to the Ramble Jamble Part 2. I'm glad you guys made it to the end. Guys, I hope those cards I showed you in the boxes scares you a bit, those sealed products. The one thing that everyone fails to talk about is the liquidity of that market. If you're a person speculating, I'm not talking about the person who buys a box to put in the background because they love it. The people who buy cases have to find ways of moving the product. And that's why the money is always moving so quickly. But those lower collector boxes, the fact they've knocked it down, and it's actually noticeable by how much they've knocked it down, and the fact that stores aren't taking a risk on it, this is something that is a fairly recent development for Magic the Gathering. And it's going to take a long time till we can really see how it sorts itself out and see where these products sell. I'm not worried about buying a box of Lord of the Rings right now. But I'm curious what it's going to be like 5 years from now. Because anyone who's been around this game as long as me understands that time is your ally. It lets you see things. It lets you get a broader viewing of how the market reacts to anything, everything. Never panic. Never jump at the first bite. And wait and see what's going on. If you miss out, it's okay. There's always another chance. Guys, have a great one. Party on, man. Party on, Wayne. Party on, Garth.